Okay, guys, we got Coach Marinelli.
Talk up for me, too.
Rod, this is Hondo Carpenter, and back through all the time I covered you when you were the head coach of the Lions.
Right.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Your life was impacted by a teacher, and in just 3 games left, is it hard to leave your mark on an entire defense when you're a teacher like you are, because there's just not a lot of time?
Well, I think you got to be efficient with your time and efficient with your message. And it's got to be clear and precise, and then believable, and so you give yourself an opportunity to achieve. That's how I do it. I just plan that every day.
Well, when you look at the way the defense has played in the past couple of weeks, especially, it seemed like there was some progress earlier this season for the last couple of weeks, especially in the run defense. What do you see as the glaring issues there?
Well, it's the things we got to do, especially in our run. It's got to do our job. And at the end of the day, coach and player. It's not on the player. It's coaches together and players together. So that's the thing you're trying to emphasize with each man, doing our job, and it's part of the teacher's job. They reflect the coach at the end of the day. So we just go back, don't change anything, and just keep trying to get better at it, especially in a short week.
Hey, Rod, Jerry McDonald from the Bay Area News Group. What is realistic for you to be able to accomplish with such a short run-up to a Thursday game?
Yeah, I think you just got to rely on your rules, okay? And whatever happens, you want to make sure guys have rules that take care of everything, which allows you to play really fast. And I just think, one thing I really believe in defense is chemistry and speed and guys working together. And the star of the defense is the defense, nobody else. And it's not a call, it's not a coach, it's not a player. It's, trying to get that continuity together in this week. And it's fun. It's a great challenge, and that I think we're all up for it.
Hey, Rod, when it comes to generating more of a pass rush, is that something that you think comes through a schematic change, or is it just guys performing better within the roles that they already have?
And that's a great question. The thing is, you have to keep developing it, and you got to believe in it, and you got to keep pushing it. It's not been good enough. Coach or player hasn't been good enough yet, but I just keep believing in these men. And I just know if we just keep driving it and pushing it, we're going to have good results, because they work every second of every day. So I think it starts with a belief, and I have a strong belief in it.
Rod, I know there's not a lot of time to change schematics and schemes and things like that, but does it come down, will there be some alterations, or does it come down to more how you apply those during the course of the game?
I think we got our package established, so it's really hard, within a day or two and a few walkthroughs to get everything done. So we got our system, and we just kind of constantly working on refining certain things that we do well and things that we believe in. Paul left a great base here, and now we just got to be able to make sure we're on top of it, and if we have to hone things down, that's what we'll do.
Hey, Rod, Carl Nassib's been a healthy scratch the last 2 weeks. How do you get more out of Carl?
I think he's been working hard, and he's spent some good time on the field, and opportunity comes, I think he'll have a good game. I really do.
Rod, you talked about doing what you guys do well. What is the strength of this defense, you think?
Well, what I want it to be is have an identity of a bunch of men together, star of the defense, working together, and working together in terms of knowing exactly what we're supposed to do, our discipline, all those things, something we've been striving on. But I think if you just keep hitting on it, and the identity, I think you got to hit like a Raider. You got to hit like a Raider, and you got to have great tempo and great pursuit and gang tackle. And that takes no talent, none, okay? It's having an attitude and a will to do that. Now, I emphasize, that's who I've been my whole career. And that's why I just kind of keep imparting and just keep driving home with it. But when you play together and you play fast, you know what you're doing, I think you got a chance to create great energy and hopefully create takeaways down the field.
Coach, can you just kind of walk us through the emotions of Sunday night? You guys lose a game. Obviously, nobody's happy. You find out, that this is going to happen. Like, what was Sunday night like for you?
Just like that. No changes. I don't change. I don't care what happens. Up and down, it's how you respond. And my response is with poise and patience. Poise, God, I believe what I'm doing. And panic, you don't know what you're doing. So it's all poise.
Rod, Coach, Gruden says that you seem to almost like adversity and even thrive in cases of adversity. And with that in mind, do you even know who you have at your disposal yet Thursday night? And how, with all these moving parts, how difficult is it to prepare?
Yeah, we got the guys. We feel we got a good handle on who's up, and I think at that point, you show belief in men. And we're going to get it done. I don't care who's up, who's not, but the non-talented things, the things that take no talent, effort, hustle, knowing exactly what to do, being disciplined, staying on sides, that takes no talent. And that just takes guys that want to. I'm going to build off the want to this week. It's a short week, but that's what I enjoy, and rally men around. Really go play hard and fast. In any circumstances.
Rod, when people mention you, your age usually comes out pretty quickly. How much longer do you want to coach, and do you want this job next season?
All I do is work right now. Me, coaching, it's people bring this age up, man. I tell you what now, I want to see them step in my shoes and have my shoes, okay? And I love it. So I don't ever look past it right there. I just want to go do a great job right now. And our job is to help these men. That's my job. And that's what we lock in at and go.
Let's do two more, Anthony, and then Omar.
Coach, what do you want to see for the players in the next 3 games?
Well, I'd start with game 1 right now. And I want to see discipline, knowing exactly what we're doing. Know exactly. It takes no talent. I keep saying that. And I want to see great energy and tackling and gang tackling. Guys that are hustling the ball. And I think when you see that, they enjoy it. And I just want to see that part of it, that we really enjoy this game. And you can't enjoy it 1 or 2 guys. It's got to be a team defense. And defense is about team, quick, fast, and physical. Quick, fast, and physical. And that's what I keep preaching, and we'll see.
Hey, Rod, how do you approach facing a rookie quarterback for the second time on the season? You still looking to throw stuff at him that he hasn't seen yet? You try to enhance on the things you did right last time? Just how do you take that approach?
I think that's a great question. And so you got to be careful how much you do new in a week, and because you don't want to beat yourself easy. I mean, that's number one. But I think everything I look at right now for us in a short week is what we do well, not so much the opponent. Okay, I respect them, all that, but we got to make sure we know what we're doing, how we execute, how we work together, how we tackle, how we strip a ball. That's a ton of stuff to do. And so it's not so much the opponent. I want to approach it as us, what we do well. And then can we do it for 4 quarters, which I know we can.
Great. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, man. Good. Good to see you. Oh.
All righty.
Derek, this is Carpenter. Obviously, you're an offensive player, but as a captain on this team, what are you and the captains communicating to your defensive side of the ball, especially with a 3-game stretch run where so much is on the line?
Yeah, I think the main thing is the sense of urgency our team has right now. That we understand that we could have made it easier on ourselves in the last couple of weeks going on this stretch run, but we haven't. And the fact is that we still have a chance. And if that doesn't get you excited, if that doesn't get you going, then I don't know what will. To work so hard and get to this point in the season, late December, and you're still playing for something. We haven't done that a lot around here since I've been here or before. And so we still have something to play for, and our guys understand, obviously with Coach Gunther no longer with us and things like that. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with everything, and we can look at a whole bunch of excuses, or we can look at it as we have a heck of an opportunity to do something still that no one thought we could do. And so I think that's what keeps us motivated. That's what keeps us locked in. And the last three times we play the Chargers, it comes down to the wire. And so we may have won those games, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't have gone one way or the other with one play. So we're locked in. We're ready to go, and I'm excited. The energy at practice, you could feel it, and all we can do now is prepare our best and show up on Thursday night and get ready to play a game.
Derek, describe the added dimension you think will be added to the Chargers defense with Joey Bosa coming back and not playing him in the first matchup of the season. What do you think they'll add to the defense and what you'll have to look out for?
Oh, well, Joey's one of the top best pass rushers in our game. He's unbelievable in the things that he's able to do. I got nothing but respect for him. He knows that. I think the world of him. I think he's, again, like I said, one of the best in our game today. And whenever they have everybody healthy, I think they've been, over the last few years, they just struggle with so many injuries. Joey, Melvin, Derwin, Denzel, Chris was hurt earlier this year. They've dealt with a lot of injuries, and just the last few years as I can remember. And whenever those guys get back, they're always excited and ready to play. So I expect Joey to be at his best. He's, again, one of the best in the league, and it's always a fun battle with him and our offensive line.
Derek, I know that there's a hard line, kind of an unfortunate side to this business sometimes, and that means that coaches sometimes lose jobs, players sometimes lose jobs.
Yep.
Can you kind of put in perspective everything over the last 48 hours of something like Paul, getting fired and trying to focus on the task at hand?
Yeah, it's something that I've seen around here before. I saw it my first year. I saw it, in one of the years with Coach Del Rio here. I see it this year. And the best thing you could do is, just come together as a team, just rally together. And we feel bad personally for Coach Gunther. We all spend so many hours here. He worked his tail off. He tried his very best to do certain things, and I don't know what's going on the defensive side. I'm so locked in on our side, but I know he works his tail off, and I know I have great respect for his scheme and for him as a person, and feel bad for him and his family, because no one wants to go through that stuff, or no one wants anything bad or negative said about him, and I don't want that for anybody. I've been there. I'm there every week. That's the story of my life, especially playing quarterback in this league. Like, that's just, it is what it is. So you feel for him, but at the same time, we got a job to do. And so as we do feel for him, and as we do, love the man and wish him the very best, as a team, you got to compartmentalize, your feelings and emotions with the job and the task at hand. And so we have a job and a task to do. We haven't been at our best these last few weeks, but if we can get on a run, if we can get hot on the end of the season and hopefully get a run and make a shot, that would be awesome.
Hey, Derek, congratulations on the latest addition to the family.
Thank you.
On that same theme about, kind of getting hot, these games down the stretch, with the season sort of seemingly on the line every week now, how do you balance, wanting the ball in your hands, making plays for your team, but at the same time, having the need to protect the football and take care of it that way? What's that balance like for you here, especially as the games become bigger?
Omar, that's a great question. It's something that Coach Gruden and I talk about all the time. I just sometimes I would feel like I had to be so perfect, and if I wasn't perfect, or I didn't make the big play, or I didn't make the big throw, then we weren't going to win the game. And that's really a selfish mindset. That's not right. And I take full responsibility for that in the last couple of weeks. And really just getting back to team complementary football and doing things the right way. I don't have to force things. I know that the deep passes and the big plays that we've had this year have been great, but there's a time and a place for me to take those chances. There's a time and a place for me to force the ball. And again, there's, last week, you look at last week, guy makes a great play, and then, it's a tip ball, and, dang, what, you wish you could have it back, because I felt like we were doing some good things on the offensive side. But I think for me, all I can do is look in the mirror and control what I can control, be better at taking care of the ball. That's something in my career I'll hang my hat on when I'm done. I've always been able to do that at a great rate, and I take pride in that because it helps. It's winning football. It's how you know, Coach Del Rio always told me, just take care of the ball. It's okay to punt, you know, and same thing here. Coach Gruden's telling me it's okay. You know, we gotta be okay with making the right decision and punting the ball and things like that. And so I just have to be able to understand that this is a team game, and I can't make it all in one throw. And if I can, you know, make the right decisions and put our team in the best possible situations all the time, then I think that, you know, we've done some really good things, but I think we can get a little bit better there.
Hey, Derek, you guys have scored on the majority of your red zone attempts so far this season, but you haven't finished that many of those attempts with touchdowns. I'm sure it changes from game to game, but just from your perspective, what can you guys do better in order to end more of those drives with 6 rather than 3?
Yeah, it would take. That's such a long winded answer that I don't want to bore you with. I'd have to watch every play with you and be like, man, we could have done this, thrown it here, or done that. So many things from execution standpoint, from me getting us into the right play, all different kinds of things. And I think that you know, tomorrow obviously is a big red zone day for us. I think it starts in the preparation. I think it starts in the attention to details. It starts just like in any line of work. The more detailed you are, the better chance you have to be successful. And I think that the more detailed that we can be, the higher clip we can execute. We're finishing with more points in the red zone this year, you know, from a standpoint of getting down there and actually finishing with some points and touchdowns and field goals. But I think that anytime we get down there, I think we're growing into a place now as an offense that, okay, that's good, but now I feel like, you know, we should be scoring touchdowns. We should get to that 30-point a game kind of clip. And I think that I say that's the expectation that we're at now. I think we're at that level to where we can finish more of those field goal drives with touchdown drives, put more points on the board, help our defense out, give them a lead so they can play, you know, with a lead rather than you know, doing it a different way.
Hey, Derek, what does the catchphrase "third and Renfro" mean to you? And given how sure-handed he's been in these 2 years that he's been with you, how shocking was it to see him leave one on the floor, leave one on the ground the other day too?
Yeah, I mean, first my heart broke for him, you know, because he, as you guys know, you've watched him practice. Not as much this year, obviously, in training camp because we couldn't, but you saw him last year. The guy tries to do everything right. If we're in a ball security drill, he's doing it all the right way. And when he catches a ball in practice, he's doing it all the right way. And it's one of those things that in life and in football, it happens. You know, they make plays. 23 is one of the best nickels in the game, you know, and he's going to make his fair share of plays like he did against us. And it happens. So you feel for him because he tries to do it all right all the time. Yeah, and it's still eating him up. You know, he's still mad about it. He still wants to prove a point. And I think that just reminds me of his career so far. He's still trying to prove a point, and I love that. And I love the guy, trust him with everything in me. Obviously, you know, you guys know when Seth Roberts was here, you know, big third down plays or big crunch time plays, I was chucking it to him down the middle. I was throwing it to him. He was making always those big plays for us, you know, game-winning touchdowns. And I look at Hunter the same way. I just trust the heck out of him, you know. And it reminds third and Renfro. When I hear that, it just reminds me of when I talked to Dabo Sweeney, and Dabo told me, he said, "There's something about it. When it's third down, the cape comes on, and he's just a different person." And it's true, you know. Dabo's known him longer than I've known him, but Hunter and I are really close, and I'm starting to see that about him. And even more so when we play golf, it kind of makes me mad because when he needs to hit the shot, he actually makes it and doesn't shank it. So hopefully I can get him to shank a couple.
We have 2 more, Chris and then Vic. Hey, Derek, can I ask you a little bit about, I know Mark Passion has as any owner, has such a passion for the franchise, but his is a unique passion. I remember when he spoke with the team prior to that first practice at Allegiant Stadium when you guys were all looking up at him at the stadium there. Have you had a chance to talk to him recently, or has he talked to the team at all?
Well, I mean, there's times where we get to talk to him, or he'll send me a text or something like that. But when it's during football time, usually we talk more during the off season than any time, you know. And with COVID going on, I don't really see him at the games, you know. And so I'm used to seeing him after the games or seeing him in the locker or around the locker room and things like that. But so far right now, obviously that's just not the case. It's been a weird year, to say the least. But I usually talk to him a lot in the off season about a lot of things, but it's just been a different year. And so usually in my 7 years here, he's around, he's at practice, he's talking to the team, he's doing this, he's doing that. But at this point, just with how weird it's just been a little bit different.
Hey, Derek, you mentioned earlier this year that you've had to use your dad voice on occasion. Do you guys need that this week? Do you guys need a stern voice, almost maybe pissed off voice this week in practice?
Yeah, I feel like I've had that probably more this year than ever, and I like to joke about it, but I'm kind of serious, as I'm getting older, as I'm in my 7th year, just the patience I have is, I guess I got a short fuse, for certain things. And so sometimes the whiteouts will make fun of me. They're like, I was like, man, I don't yell or I don't say that. And then they're like, what? They'll say something, they'll joke with me, about times that I do. But, I guess the sense of urgency, Vic, I spend so much time here in this building, I spend so much time trying to do everything I can for this organization to help us win. And I want more than anything, for our fans to see us in the playoffs. I want them to see us, to be able to enjoy that and to be able to win some games and do things and make that a reoccurring theme around here. And so, I guess to say the least, yeah, it has. I've used it. I guess I've been a little less or a little more short-fused, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I guess the expectation and the demand is what it is, and I'm gonna hold people to that standard as long as I have breath in my lungs, because I think we're capable of it.
All set. Thank you, Derek.
All right. Thanks, guys.